Waddie Mitchell wrote this one. It's called The Whole Load. Hope you enjoy it. In a western town, in the days of old, where the mines closed down for the lack of gold, the people had an opportunity to build themselves a right smart community. They built them a school where the arts were taught. They built them a church on a corner lot. They painted her white with a steeple high to welcome the folks as they's passing by. They had them a sheriff, a judge, and a mayor, but they needed a preacher to keep things square. So they sent back east with general rule and hired a one straight out of divinity school. Well, when Sunday come, he was all decked out to preach his sermon, whisper and shout. But when he got up to the podium, it was pretty clear that no one come, except one old cowboy in a pew way back there with a Sunday shirt and his greased-back hair. He was a-sitting there watching the floor with occasional glance at the church's door. Time stood still for the longest while the preacher coughed and faked a smile. Well, I guess we can try her again next week. His emotions reigned. He could hardly speak. His demeanor was like a scolded pup. He turned to leave when old Jake spoke up. Hold on there, parson. 'Tain't your fault. Them old doors ain't like no vault. There ain't no locks to keep folks out. And if you leave now, Satan's won the battle. If I had me a whole load of hay and only one cow showed up, she'd get fed that day. Well, the preacher man the last few days found it hard to cope with them western ways, but he figured he'd found his call from that profound man with the western drawl. So he fixed his collar and he stood up straight. He started to expound on the pearly gates, and he amazed himself on the work he called by the book he waved, chapter, verse, and all. It was God Almighty's omnipotent power that he lectured on for near an hour, the wages of sin and hell's been fire. And he didn't weaken, and he didn't tire. He was a-jumping and stomping and pounding the floor when he noticed old Jake wasn't awake no more. Oh, that made him mad, and he stomped to his pew. He shook Jake's shoulder and he said, I ain't through. You're the one that talked about the cow getting fed. Now here you're acting like you're home in bed. Well, you're right there, preacher, about the things I told you. If I had a load of hay, that'd still be true. That cow would get fed. That's the cowboy code. But I wouldn't feed her the whole darn load.